Last week, we raced our little Cessna against an Air Canada Boeing 737 on a flight from Vancouver to Kelowna, and learned that the Skyhawk saved time and money over the airline. This week, we used our Skyhawk to visit a beautiful untouched beach on Texada Island. We're sure it was faster than driving, but could it also be cheaper than driving? Well, we decided to find out. Being Vancouver in mid-April, it was still cool, but a beautiful and clear blue sky day. We took off towards Port Moody, soon passing by Simon Fraser University, with a view of Belcarra and Indian Arm ahead. Janine always flies the first leg. She's spunkier in the mornings. As we passed Stanley Park, we climbed a little higher to cross the water at Howe Sound. Howe Sound is awfully pretty. A week earlier, we flew here just to weave around the islands and fly home again. Soon we were flying along the Sunshine Coast, coming up on Sechelt. Our dog Zeus doesn't like the plane ride much, but he sure loves the places we end up. Usually right after Sechelt, we head across the water and follow the length of Texada Island to Gillies Bay. Today, we decided to continue up the Sunshine Coast and past Pender Harbor, a gorgeous stretch of the Sunshine Coast and a summer haven for boaters from all over the west coast. Around 5 kilometers south of Powell River, we crossed the water towards Gillies Bay, and Janine took us in for a smooth landing, despite a pretty fresh crosswind and downdrafts. The total flight time was just under one very scenic hour. By car, it's a scenic 5 hours, not counting the wait times for 3 ferry crossings. From the airport, there's a pretty trail that winds down the hillside at 300-foot descent to arrive at the unnamed beach a kilometer south of the airport. We rarely see people at this beach, even in the summer when it's warm enough to get into the water. The trail from the airport is pretty well the only way to get here. After an hour at the beach, we took off for the scenic flight back along the Sunshine Coast to Vancouver. By plane, our fuel bill was $115. By car, it would have been $213 for the 6 ferry crossings, 3 each way. The ferry timings don't make it possible to do it all in one day, so we would have needed one night in a hotel, let's say $150. Fuel would have been less than flying, around $80 for the round trip in our Corolla. So $115 by plane and $443 by car. The Cessna wins again.